Have you ever paused just for a moment and asked yourself, what will people say about me when I'm gone? Not in a gloomy, morbid way, but in the quiet moments when the world fades out and you're left with just your thoughts, your choices, your journey. Will they remember you as someone who simply passed through life or someone who left footprints behind? We all want to matter. It's human nature. We want to know that our existence isn't just a fleeting spark, but something that ignited warmth in someone else's life. That in a world full of noise, distractions and chaos, we stood for something, we changed something, we helped someone breathe easier, smile wider, dream bigger. The truth is, being remembered isn't about fame, wealth or how many followers you had on social media. It's about impact, quiet or loud, seen or unseen, but deeply, deeply felt. Making a difference doesn't start with grand gestures. It begins in the small moments, the everyday choices that seem insignificant but echo far beyond what we can imagine. The way you speak to the person bagging your groceries, the time you spend listening instead of talking, the decision to show up when it's inconvenient, the courage to stand up for someone who's being overlooked. These things, they matter. They build a legacy. Think about the people who've made a lasting impact on your life. A teacher, a parent, a stranger who showed you kindness when you needed it most. What was it about them that stuck with you? Chances are it wasn't what they said, it was how they made you feel. Inspired, seen, loved, safe, capable. That feeling, that is what gets remembered. But here's the thing, making a difference isn't always comfortable. It requires presence, effort. It means choosing integrity, even when it's not popular. It means being the person who leads with love in a world that often values pride. It means being consistent in your values when others are chasing shortcuts. To make a difference, you have to care. Not just about your own life, but about the lives brushing up against yours every single day. And when you start caring like that, you begin to see the world differently. Suddenly, you're not just living, you're building, cultivating, lifting. It's easy to think, I'm just one person, what can I really do? But every movement that ever changed the world started with one person who refused to stay silent. One person who dared to care a little more. Don't underestimate your reach. The world is full of people silently searching for hope, for direction, for someone to believe in them. You might just be that someone. What does it really take to be remembered? Consistency, kindness, passion, a heart that beats for something bigger than itself. People remember those who walk in purpose, not perfection. They remember those who were bold enough to love deeply, lead gently, and live authentically. So show up fully. Be honest, be generous, be courageous. Leave people better than you found them. When you enter a room, bring light. When you speak, bring life. When you act, bring truth. And even in your silence, let your presence be peace. It's not about having a flawless life. It's about living in such a way that even your flaws become a bridge for others. Every scar, every mistake, every stumble, they all have the power to teach, to heal, to encourage. When you own your story, you give others the permission to own theirs too. That is how you make a difference. The real secret? It's not in being known, it's in being felt. People may forget your name, but they won't forget how you made them feel safe when the world was cold. How you made them laugh when they wanted to cry. How you pushed them to believe when they were ready to give up. That's what lives on. That's what stands the test of time. And remember, impact doesn't need an audience. You can change the world of one person and still be someone who made a difference. It might be your child, your best friend, a colleague, a stranger. When you choose to live with intention, everyone around you feels the ripple. So keep showing up with heart. Keep choosing purpose over popularity. Keep planting seeds, even if you never see the tree. Because someday, someone will sit in its shade and whisper your name. Not because you were perfect, but because you mattered. Because you chose to make your life a message. Let your life be the kind that echoes, not just in words, but in legacy. Let your story be the kind that reminds others what's possible. Don't just chase success, chase significance. Because in the end, we're not remembered for what we had, but for what we gave. So go out there. Be the reason someone believes in good again. Be the light in someone's darkness. Be the voice that says, you matter. Because you do. And if you live like that, fearless, intentional, and full of heart, you will be remembered, not just for what you did, but for the lives you touched along the way. And that is how you make a difference.